more intentional. Breathing in what we need to bring us into a good and positive balance this morning. And bringing our awareness fully to our bodies, to our breath, to what's happening in our mind, body, and spirit. Take a moment to set your own personal intention. It can just be a focus for today. It can be an affirmation, thoughts for someone else, whatever works for you. Take your 3 breaths around that. And at the end of your 3rd breath, we're going to move and warm our bodies and our neck. So let's start with our shoulders. Just moving one shoulder up and one shoulder down, or one shoulder forward and one shoulder back. Anything that feels good. Just trying to check in with shoulders. You can keep your eyes closed or you can open them. Kind of a creative movement here. And as you check in, maybe begin to move from the hips up, just starting a little circle in your body to warm your spine. Both directions. And then we're going to sit up tall and take our gaze side to side. And then chin down and chin up, just warming up that neck. Maybe ear to shoulder gently. And start to feel that pull that happens when you lean one way, pulling the shoulder down, away from the ear. Let's add some arm movement. So bringing our arms up with our inhale, reaching up, lifting up, stretching the fingers, bring it down when you're ready. A few more of those, taking those arms up with the breath. Big exhales out. One more. And then let's reach out forward, maybe about a quarter of the way down, so you can feel that core beginning to work. Maybe take a little wiggle here and then bring yourself back to center and do it again. Big inhale up, reach it out, stretch forward, keep your sitting bones on the ground. One more. And then back to center, we're going to add a little twist for our spine. So we inhale up, choose a side, take a gentle twist. And then back to center with the arms, and twist the other way. Just gently moving back and forth, side to side. One more. And then we come back to center. We're going to use our arm. We're going to lift up and lean over. So we're going to lengthen the sides of our body as we go side to side. A little more of a stretch for the side of the body this way, rather than a twist for the spine. One more time each way. Now we're going to take it back to center, lift up, and reach out, and this time hold for a moment, and then take it all the way forward. So if you're in the chair, we're just going to reach toward the floor. If you're seated on your mat like I am, you can add a little wiggle. Waken up those hips. Maybe you want to, from wherever you are, take it side to side a little bit. Get more of a stretch that way. Whatever feels good, and I'm concentrating on just kind of warming up my hips. Beautiful. And then we're going to walk it back up. So let's try some arms today. We're going to reach out to the sides, like we're going to reach for opposite walls. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears and choose a direction and start circling. Tight, tiny circles to warm those arms up. And then stop and go the opposite direction. Feel those arms toning, feel the strength of your shoulders, the neck is nice and flat, nice and long, sorry. And then let's shake it out. We're going to draw elbow away from opposite shoulder, stretching that arm, and then take it a little deeper. Continuing to breathe. Let's try the other arm. Draw it across. Add neck if you choose. And take it a little deeper. And release. We're going to release those arms. Behind you can make fists or interlace. Open the chest. Draw the shoulders back. Make a little trench. Stretch the arms out if you choose to, so you feel the opening across your chest. Extension of your arms might feel a stretch there, and you're growing that trench between your shoulder blades, really drawing them together, feeling that power. Maybe you want to add a little twist for your head to loosen that neck. And then we're going to release that and bring our arms in front, one over the other, round forward. Feel that stretch across your shoulders, and then draw back through the shoulder blades. Bring your chin down, reach through the fingertips, and try to create a trench. So the arms are strong, there's a trench building, and you're reaching through the fingertips. Breath here, and release. All right, we're going to stand up. So working your way up to standing. I'm going to move my microphone up here. Hopefully you can hear me. So we're going to work on those feet. We're going to lift up and back. So heel, toe. Just warm those feet. Warm the backs of the legs a little bit before we get stretching. Up and down. Nice and easy. Spread the toes if you can. 2 more. Now we're going to go moving chairs. So we're going to go up and sink it back. So up, sink your butt back. Get as low as it feels comfortable. Two more. Let's hold this one down in an actual chair, sinking our weight to our heels, lifting our torso up, just holding here to warm our quads. Nice full breaths. One more. Press the toes down, lift up, reach up, hands overhead, interlace those fingers, take a lean in each direction. And come back to center. All right, we're going to take those feet wide. First, we're going to loosen both the bottoms of the feet and the inner legs. Just rock your weight side to side, spread the toes. Maybe go up and down a few times. And then when we find our best position here, knees should be going the same direction as our toes. Should have a nice wide stance. Let's start some sunflowers. So we're going to go up. We're going to sink it down, bring our head away from our body as we lower down and sweep those arms. You can also do this from the chair if you don't want to stand or if your knees are bothering you. So we inhale up and we exhale down. Get low. Your own pace. Two more. And then we're going to add some rotation. So choose a side and start to circle around. 2 more. And we stop and we circle the other way. Get nice and low with that bent knee if you can. More. And then we're going to sink into goddess. So we squat, lift our spine, take our arms out, elbows line up with the shoulders. We spread the palms. If you want to modify that movement, bring it in close to hands to heart center. That also works. We're going to hold here, breathe, feel strong. Feel our knees turning toward the edges of our mat or out toward the little toe side of our foot. Nice full breath. I'm just going to check my chat real quick here. Oh, sorry, Shar, you can't hear me. Now we're going to add it on. You can stay here or you can take a pulse, which is from the lowest point, you go down just a little bit lower, opening up all around where the legs connect to the body, to the hips area. Just gives it a little more of an extra warm up. Beautiful. Hands to the knees now. We're going to spread those knees wide, brace ourselves a little bit here. Take that shoulder and really turn to one side, so the opposite knee. Stretch the side of your body, and then we twist the other way. Stretch, turn our gaze, get the stretch wherever it's needed. Inner leg. One more time each way. Now we're going to take this into our wide-legged forward fold. So that means our feet need to go parallel to each other. Take them as wide as you're comfortable with. You can go ahead and lower down right away, or you can make it a little harder. Reach behind, open up that chest, and take your head down. Taking a moment to stretch out the arms if you have your hands intertwined, or if your hamstrings need you to bring those hands to the floor for support, bring them down. Straighten your legs, lower the crown of your head to the floor, let the backs of your legs stretch. Nice full breaths here. You can add a little neck work if you want to, shaking your head yes and no. You can start to add movement if you need more. Taking your hands side to side, bending your knee over your ankle, or even walking out in front, pressing your heels down and getting a little more of a lower half of the leg stretch through the Achilles heel. Whatever you need, move it around a little bit, get your best stretch. Everybody's body is a little bit different. And then from here we'll go into a twist, but take a moment to stretch. Or hold at center position if that's the one that works for you. And when you're ready, plant a hand lightly under your chin and begin to twist side to side, opening up. One more time each way. Back to center. We're going to step or hop our feet together, forward fold. Hips distance apart, room for 2 fists between the big toes. Press into that floor. Let the back of those legs stretch once again. Head hangs low. You can move it if you need to, or just hold here. We won't be here too long. Just a little stretch for the hamstrings and the low back maybe. Let's go halfway up. So we're going to either go fingertips to floor if we're able to, or palms to shin, or even higher if we need to. Getting our back nice and flat, creating that little trench between our shoulder blades. And once here, you have the option always to take a little neck stretch side to side while you're letting the backs of your legs and your back extend away from your body and stretch. Bend the knees, press down through the feet, take it all the way up. And exhale, shaking it out. All right, we're standing. We're just going to do a little more warm up for the hip, and then we'll start our lunges. So this will challenge our balance. If you need to hang on to a wall or a chair, please do so. We're going to come into one-legged balance, lifting up our left leg, putting our weight to the right side. You can choose any arms that work for you. And we're going to just take some breaths here, giving you an extra challenge if you like to circle both directions, your ankle, or you can just hold. We're going to change our arm position, maybe bring it in closer, hands to heart center, and we're going to open that knee out to the side, warming up this hip and hip flexor. And then we're going to take that leg back out in front. We're just going to press through the heel, holding it out in front. And switch, shake it out. Shifting over to the left, bringing the right knee up. Try to get it as high as you can. Hip height is great. Lifting those arms or choosing an arm position for the first 5 breaths. Circling the ankle if you like. And then we're going to add on, changing the arms if you choose. Start to bring that knee out to the side and back to center. One more. And then send that leg out in front, press through the heel, try to keep it straight. Try not to lock your left side, just to hold that right leg out. Keep a soft bend in the knee and the hip. Beautiful. And release. Shake it out, move it around, grab a drink if you need to. We're going to come to the front of the mat in our mountain next. The mountain, we have our feet about hips distance apart. Our toes are spread. We're going to feel from the feet up, our body come into alignment. So an inward spiral of the shins like you're holding something between your knees. Makes you feel a little wider here at the hips. We're going to either tuck or draw our belly button in toward our spine. Lift ourselves up so our spine is tall, back of the neck is long, shoulders come up, back, and down, and our palms are going to face away to keep that chest open. We don't want rounded shoulder position, we want open. So finding your feet and feeling your way up to the crown of your head. Come into your mountain full of intention. What is your intention today? Breathe it in. Exhale it out. On your next one, we're going to take our arms up with that breath. And we're going to bring ourselves down to the floor, whether it's a swan dive or just reaching out in front, depending on your space. Come into forward fold. On your inhale, take it halfway up, extend. And then we're going to exhale back to the floor and step our left leg back, runner's lunge. We start low, keeping our hips level. Our right knee is over our ankle and our back leg is extended, and we're pressing out through that heel. The weight comes out of our arms, put into our legs, and nice and balanced. You can stay here for as long as this feels good to you. You can move it around if your hip flexor is tight and you need to just stretch that. Or you can choose to press up to a higher lunge right away. Nice. We're going to take a twist, bringing our left hand down to the inside of our right foot. You can keep your right hand on your hip or turn to the right and extend, stacking your arms. Beautiful. Bring that right arm down, step it forward, forward fold. Shake it out, lift your toes, lift your heels, whatever feels good here for a moment. And then when you're ready to inhale, take it halfway up. Extend, add your neck if you choose. Hands to the floor, we're going to step our right leg back. Same thing, opposite side, runner's lunge. Finding that balance of weight, that extension of the leg, the alignment of the hips. Breathe here a few times, move it if you need to. And when you're ready, choose to lift it up. High lunge. Nice. One more breath here. We're going to take our right hand down to the inside of the left foot now and twist to the left. Keeping our hand at our hip or fully extending. Keep that back leg straight. Turn your gaze over that front foot and rock yourself forward, forward fold, front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, extend. We're going to come up and sink back into a chair. Weight to the heels, hands to heart center. Now we're going to shift over to the right side and either come onto the left toe or lift it off the ground altogether. So you can keep that toe there for balance if you need it. We're going to find our power in our core, and we're going to send that leg back into a warrior three. So straightening it out as best we can, pointing it down to the floor. If you have something to hang on to, like a chair or a wall, you can hang on. Just a couple breaths here, building some strength. And then we take that foot and bring it down and find our way up to a full crescent lunge. Feel free to move it around until you get into the right alignment. You don't have to stick your landing. When your knee is over your ankle, you should be able to see your first and second toe. Hips should feel level and back leg should be strong and extended. Lifting up, you can continue to add on to stretch the front of that left leg by opening up into almost a mini back bend if you're able. And then we're going to challenge our balance once again. We're going to step forward into one-legged balance. You may need to use your toe on the floor, or maybe you can go right up into one-legged balance. Beautiful. Left foot comes down, we're back to mountain. So we're going to take our arms up with our next inhale, bring ourselves down to the floor, forward fold, halfway lift, sink it back, chair again, weight to the heels, lifting that spine. Arms can go wherever you want. I'm just going to keep mine at heart center. Breathe. Now we're going to shift to the left foot, coming up onto the right toe or lifting it off the ground altogether into a one-legged chair. We work our way back to that warrior three, extending that right leg, pointing the toe toward the floor, keeping the left leg straight. And when you're ready, step it back and find your way to crescent lunge, taking a big stretch for the right side. Checking that knee, front knee over the ankle, opening up the chest. And now we're going to bring it forward into that one-legged balance. So we either rock it up or step forward and then lift. Beautiful. Shake it out. All right, we're going to add on and go step back into a plank and then up into a downward facing dog. So you have the option to do it on your mat, or if you're using a chair, that would work too. Coming into your mountain, checking in with your feet. Up your body, finding your best mountain position here. Everything active, strong, and in alignment. We're going to take a breath or two. Fill ourselves with intention. And on our next inhale, put it together. Inhale up. Work your way down to the floor. Forward fold. Halfway lift, extend. Hands to the floor. We're going to step it back to plank. So that means you can go knees down plank. Behind the hips, you could go forearm plank if you need to get off your wrists, or you could stay at a full plank. Shoulders over wrists. Breathing here, finding the strength in your core. Building strength in your core. If you're in full plank, or even in your forearm or dolphin arm plank, press through your heels. Really activate your legs. Straighten them out. From here, we're going to lift it up into downward facing dog and really stretch the back of those legs. That should be warm now. So lifting it up, pedal one at a time. Stretch each heel and each back of the leg deeply. All right, from here we're going to lower our knees down, coming into tabletop. So shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. And we're going to do a few cow and cat. So we drop the belly, raise the gaze, and then we find our power there, round up into cat. So inhale, cow. Exhale, round up into cat. Just stretching out, lower back, belly, spine. 3 more. Beautiful. All right, we're going to work on our arm strength here. So if it bothers your wrist, you could go down and hold a dolphin arm plank to get off your wrists. But if you want to build a little strength in your arms, you're going to take your knees behind your hips. Now if you want to do this from full push-up, that's okay too. But we're going to go down with our chest and press our elbows toward the back of the mat to build some arm strength. So we go up and down. It may be only a small movement. It's not, just make sure your elbows don't go out to the side. They go back and back up. So try to do as many as you can in the time that I can do 8. Here we go. I'm on my last one, and then I'm going to take it all the way down to our belly. So lower down slowly and come into a cobra. Our fingers are spread right underneath our shoulders or right next to our shoulders. Our elbows are going to tuck in. Our toenails are going to stay connected to the mat. And we're going to lift up into a cobra and warm and strengthen the low back. 5 breaths here. Try to get most of the weight out of your arms. If you can have your back do the work, then you're strengthening. And release it down, rest for a moment. We're going to do another strength builder. We're going to do locust. If you want to go to full Superman, reaching out in front and lifting, you can do full Superman. I'm going to modify it and do locust today. Locust, we go behind, our palms face the floor, And we're gonna lift arms and legs and fly off the ground here, building some strength. So 7 breaths. Keep the back of the neck nice and flat as you lift up. So find your inhale, lift, reach. Make sure you're breathing deeply and fully here and strengthening. Here we go. One more breath. Beautiful. Release it down and push back to your child's pose or your extended puppy. Extended puppy, your hips are lifting and you're lowering your forehead. And in child's pose, either the knees go wide or they stay right normal distance, and we sink our hips to our heels. Find what works for you. Take 5 breaths. Beautiful. Lift it up all the way up to your downward facing dog, whatever that looks like today. Stretch it out for a moment. Maybe this time you want your back to do a little stretching, so you're going to come forward into plank, bend those knees, and keep the legs out of it, and just align your ears with your arms and stretch up through the sitting bones. Whatever feels good to you, or balance it out. Take a couple of breaths there. I'm going to check the time. Time goes so fast. From here, once you find your down dog and balance it out, we're going to end up bringing our right leg forward. So however you do that, lowering the left knee and bringing the right leg forward, or swinging that right leg forward, come all the way up. Crescent lunge. And then we're going to bring our hands down to heart center, spin that back heel down and take it into warrior 2. Shoulders come down away from the ears. We've got good alignment of heel to arch or heel to heel if that's a better alignment for you. Hips and heart face the long edge of the mat. We're going to sink into this and hold. Now, we're going to lift up without locking and then sink in a little deeper. We're going to do that 5 times. Up and then sink in. Last one. Now flip that right palm up and reverse your warrior, keeping a bend in this knee. Opening the left side of the chest. You can have palm face your back to keep this open or reach for the floor. Going into a side angle, you have the option to use your chair or use your knee and bring yourself forward, or keep it modified, or you can do more core, both arms out over that right knee, if you're ready for it. We're going to run out of time to do everything I want today, so I'm going to add a little core in here. Beautiful. I'm going to go down through the sun salutation, but you can also just step back into your downward facing dog and wait to join us. But if you go back into your downward facing dog here, you may want to bring it forward and do the lower half of the sun salutation your way, coming into a cobra or a sphinx or even an up dog. And we meet again at our downward facing dog. Now we're going to take that left leg forward, however we get it there, into our crescent lunge. Coming all the way up. Turning it into a warrior 2 when you're ready. Checking in with all the parts. The alignment, the shoulders, the hips and heart. Turning your gaze over that left arm. You should be able to see first and second toe over that front knee. The add on here. We lift into the straight leg, sink deeper 5 times. Beautiful. Flip that left palm up and reverse your warrior, keeping the right side of the chest open. Choosing your side angle, either elbow to knee or elbow to chair, or taking both arms out over that left knee for a little more core work. Here we go, 5 breaths. Excellent. Choosing to go through that sun salutation again, or just to hold at downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, take the right leg forward again, this time directly into warrior 2. We're going to straighten the leg for triangle today, so the front leg is straight. We've got our body in a nice alignment without kicking our booty to the side. We're going to reach forward and bring that hand to the shin, to the floor, to a chair, to a block, whatever we need to. Opening to the left. Stacking those arms, keeping the stretch in the legs by keeping them straight without locking the knee. Triangle. Two more breaths. Turning your gaze over that front foot, either work yourself through the sun salutation or just step back to a downward facing dog. We will do the other side. Coming into down dog, we find the left leg and bring it through for warrior 2. Very nice. We straighten that leg, prepare for triangle, take it over and down, stacking, opening, stretching. One more breath. Turning your gaze over that left foot, we're going to rock it forward into a forward fold, front of the mat. Choosing to add a low back stretch, you can take your feet wider and reach for opposite elbows and hang, or you can let your back of your legs stretch in your forward fold, giving a little support for the hamstrings. You decide. Take 3 breaths here. Take it halfway up, extend, lengthen, add your neck, your stretch for your neck if you choose. And then bend those knees and take it all the way up. This time bringing hands overhead, interlacing, lifting, taking a bigger and deeper lean out to each side. Back to center and release. Shake it out, grab a drink if you need. All right, we're going to go into a little balance and then we're going to work our way down for the final stretches. So we're going to do a little tree. You can hang on to a wall or a chair. We're going to shift over to the right side when you're ready. Take the left toes out. Remember, the important part of tree, there's a couple important parts. It isn't to get into your highest position. It isn't to be as still as possible. It's to open the hip so the knee points out to the side. Whether you choose floor, shin, or bypass the knee and come all the way up, you want to find that motion of hugging in to find your balance and center from leg to leg. So it isn't just about pressing this leg into the left one into the right. It's about hugging into the center. So find your position on this side, and turn the knee out to the side. Get your stretch in your hip. Most important part. Then if you want to add the balance, hug in, find the center, and choose any arms that work for you. You can even go a little bit of snow angels here and add some movement to keep it a little harder if your balance is feeling pretty good today. And we breathe without locking out our right knee or our right hip as we do tree on this side. Nice movement. And it's okay to wobble. 2 more breaths. Last one. And we release. Nice and gentle. Take that leg down, shake it out, and prepare for the other side. The sides of the body are different. Hips are different. So check out first with what level do I want to be in to get my best hip stretch on this side for tree. Turning the right knee out to the side and plugging in the different positions. What feels right. Keep that knee going out to the side. Find that hug in point as you continue to add on. Choose your arms and breathe. Two more breaths. And release. Shake it out. Nice work. All right, we're going to go down in garland. For those of you who don't like garland, garland is the one where our knees go out to the side and we tuck ourselves down and get low like we're little kids playing in the sand. We're going to try it to get into it a slightly different way. So take your feet a little wider than hips distance. If you don't want to do it, just go ahead and go down and go soles of your feet together in a reclined butterfly until we join you seated. But those of you doing it with me, we're going to lift up. We're going to sink down, right down in between those feet. Down low, feet flat. See if you can get your elbows to open your knees a little wider. Lift your spine. Breathe. If you need to widen your feet or adjust, go ahead. Trying to get the feet flat, that's the first goal. Two more breaths if you're in butterfly or if you're in garland, or if you need to get out of it before I do, that's fine. Listen to your body. And then go ahead and bring it down. So we're going to stretch those legs out. And I'm going to give you the option to either be in staff pose with your legs stretched out straight in front as you lower forward to get your best stretch, or to take it to a wide-legged stretch, whatever one you need. I'm going to stay in staff pose today, reaching my hands behind, opening my chest, pressing those legs down, and pointing the toes up. But if you want to go wide, that's your choice. We're going to try to keep those legs connected to the ground as we find our best back of the leg stretch. So if you want to let go and reach forward for the toes or the shins, you go as far forward as you need to from either position, getting your best stretch this morning. It's not about how far you go, it's about feeling it in your body. Hopefully not adding more stress to your low back, but actually letting your legs lengthen, the back of your legs lengthen. Might give some relief to the low back. 2 more breaths. Beautiful, and release. All right, we're gonna roll onto our backs. Bringing our knees to our chest for one final stretch. So work your way back, draw those knees in, give your low back a little love with some circles or some rocks. Maybe even go happy baby, separating the feet wide and rocking. And then we're going to go into a pigeon for the hips. So finding your left foot and bringing it forward. This is where you can modify if you want to make it into a harder pigeon or a seated pigeon or a pigeon in the chair. Just bring your left leg on top. You can do whatever works for you. You can even bring the right foot down and just draw that left leg forward from this position. Just finding your best left hip stretch. Let's take a few breaths here. One more breath here. And then back to the low back love, whatever works for you, a child's pose, a happy baby or just a rock. And then we take our right leg and bring it in front for pigeon. Whatever version feels best. Beautiful. Working your way down to resting. If you want to stretch along the way, that's fine. I'm going to play one final song here and let you just relax for a moment. Or you can continue to stretch it out.